I mean, it's working. So so much so that First Lady Michelle Obama, big music lover, and she wanted you to spin at her 50th birthday party. Now, how does one get that invitation? Does to the White House? Does Secret Service hit you up, or does Michelle Obama text you? Who reaches out and says, the First Lady wants you to DJ her
Well,
party?
the First Lady's 50th birthday might have been the 10th or so party that I played for the Obamas. So it it came as a um, kind of a trajectory from the first inauguration.
Mhm.
So I DJ'd both of President Obama's inaugurations. I was the first DJ to ever play a presidential inauguration. I DJ'd Barack Obama's 50th birthday at the White House. And then he requested um, that I play for hers. And who specifically gives the calls? The social secretary of the White House or someone who works for the president or the first lady. But, this was a relationship that grew for 8 years. And out of any events that I've DJ'd my entire career, the parties that I played for the Obamas were the most surreal, um, the most unbelievable, and really the most emotional. I remember the first time that I ever DJ'd at the White House was for the president's 50th birthday. And I remember standing in the Red Room, the famous room designed, I think, by um, Eleanor Roosevelt. And the Red Room was really the green room for the artists. So I'm in the Red Room and I'm looking out the window and I'm looking at the Washington, the Washington, the Washington Memorial outside directly in front. And I called my grandmother and I said, I'm about to go on stage at the White House. And I remember tears coming down my eye because it was a moment that you can't really ever predict. There's no really amount of I don't know, success as a DJ to prepare you for that moment of where you're about to play Barack Obama's 50th birthday at the White House. And, I'm just even, as I talk about it, now how many years later, 9 years after the night at hand, I still get a chill.
So has Donald Trump ever tried to get you to play at any of his parties? And if he did call you and invite you to play, what would you say?
I always had a fantasy of Donald Trump calling me to play, me saying yes, and then leaving him totally empty-handed, not showing up. That was always like my prank dream, like to say yes, have the sound there, everything ready to go, the DJ set up on the stage, and then there's just dead air, no party. That was always that was always kind of my weird, prank dream. But no, he never called.
So we're about 4 weeks away from the presidential inauguration. And a few months back, you were able to play at a party for our new Vice President, Kamala Harris. Let's take a look.
Can we give it up for DJ Cassidy, please? And then let's give it up for Brooklyn.
So that party was when I was about to say Senator Harris. That party was when Vice President-elect Harris was running for president. That was one of her first campaign parties. That was in, I believe, Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I ever played for her. And I played about a dozen events for her while she was running for president. And then right before she was chosen to be the vice president, I believe early August, I produced an online event for her, with her, that raised $1 million for President Biden's campaign. And she had called and said, look, I want to do something completely unorthodox. I want to do a music-focused, DJ-centric online event to raise money. And I put together this event for her with 6 top-notch, completely diverse, extraordinary DJs from all walks of life. It was me, Diplo, Hannah Brofman, Beverly Bond, D Nice, Jermaine Dupri. And we all got together and literally raised $1 million for the campaign. And what was so great about this event is that Kamala Harris was a part of the whole thing. She essentially was the host, and she and I got on to set it off. We welcomed everyone. There were thousands of people watching, and she and I came on at the beginning of all the DJ sets, and it was really just incredible to see how interactive she was, not only with the DJs but with the crowd, and I just couldn't be happier that she and Joe Biden were able to bring this home. They are the right people for the job. There was no turning back, and I could not be more thrilled for what's to come.
Since we spend a little time, and before we go to break, I want to just squeeze in this quick last question. Since you spent time with her, you've been around her several times, is there anything about her that we don't really know that's maybe we'd be surprised to know, or just something about her that you want to share with us? Kind of woman she is. Is she cool? Is she like,
well,
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you one thing that I think people might not know. It's a small thing, but to me, it touched me. After this event that I produced, she called me the next day on the phone, which I was totally blown away by. She didn't have to. She didn't have an assistant call or an aide call. She called me directly on my cell phone to say thank you for putting together the event. And she asked me for every DJ's phone number that had been a part of the event. And she wanted to thank each person personally. And I think that's a reflection of who she is. She's personable. She's warm. She's grateful. And she takes time to acknowledge people. And I think and hope that that's going to foreshadow how she is in the White House. And as I said before, I couldn't be happier that she's the vice president-elect.
Thanks for sharing that, because I feel like, with all the misinformation that's out there and how people tend to vilify women, especially in politics, I just like to hear something about the real her, and thank you for that. So real quick, one last thing also. In the middle of this rough year, the pandemic, you launch your virtual music series, Pass the Mic. Tell us how your mix of Zoom and classic grooves became such a big sensation.
Well, it was late April. It was the heat of the quarantine. Everyone was locked inside still. I don't think I'd left my house to take out the garbage. And I was FaceTiming with Verdine White of Earth, Wind & Fire, who's my friend and who's not only my friend, but who's really become a kind of really close person in my life. And he's been a mentor for years. And he was locked inside. I was locked inside. And while I was FaceTiming with Verdine White, the Earth, Wind & Fire song, That's the Way of the World, comes on my speakers. Mm-hmm. And he starts singing along with his own song. Hearts of fire, create love, desire. And I got a chill down my spine. That's it right there. I said, how fortunate am I to have so many relationships with my musical heroes? And how lucky am I to be able to experience their music in this way? And right then and there, I said to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if I could think of a way to give the feeling I have right now to people around the world, the feeling of connecting with your musical heroes in a personal way, like I do at this moment. And immediately I thought of Pass the Mic. I thought of the name and I envisioned it in my mind. And I literally pictured myself sitting right here at my coffee table where my turntables have been since the beginning of 2020. And I said, what if I dropped only iconic records, iconic R&B and hip hop records from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And with every record I dropped, the iconic artist who sang that record came on the screen to sing along. And that literally was the idea. And 4 episodes later, I've passed the mic to 104 legendary artists.
Wow.
Literally 104 legendary individuals whose songs came out in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And all these records have been a part of my life almost my entire life. These are songs that I have known the words to my whole life. These are songs that I've played as a DJ my whole life. These were songs that I was rocking to before I had my DJ equipment. These are the songs that made me who I was. These are the songs that gave me character, that gave me style, that gave me rhythm. These are the songs that taught me how to DJ. And so, look, as I look back, I premiered the first episode in July, August, September, October, November, December. As I look back on the past 5-6 months, I can't really find words to express to you how surreal it's been, because I've not only been able to kind of bring my heroes to the world in a new way, but I've been able to connect with my heroes in a more personal way than I have in the past. So it's been really exciting.